Good evening. Let us decolonize once and for all, so says opposition leader Mark Golding. He made this statement during his address at the PNP's press conference hosted earlier today.
Once and for all, the legislation to move away from the Privy Council and to adopt the CCJ has been developed. It was developed under my watch when I was Minister of Justice and tabled. It was passed in the House of Representatives at the time, but the opposition at that time didn't see fit to support it in the Senate, and it couldn't pass without their support. That legislation exists and can be dusted off and tabled again, and we can move forward in a bipartisan way on both issues, ensuring that Jamaica has a Jamaican head of state, somebody from our country as our top member of the executive, and ensuring that our final court is an institution that serves our region, that we help to finance, that we help to design as Jamaicans, and that has achieved a reputation for excellence. The government has indicated that it wishes to establish a committee to look at constitutional reform issues. I do not have a problem with that, although I'm concerned about further delays in achieving agreed positions. But we are willing to participate by nominating representatives to that committee. However, before I do so, I want to know exactly where the government intends to go.
Opposition spokesman on finance, planning and the public service, Julian Robinson, had some concerns about the public sector compensation review. He stated that contract workers did not choose to be on contract, but he believes they're being discriminated against.
It is important to note that none of these workers chose to be on contract. In all of these cases, that was the only form of employment that was provided to them when they signed up. They are being excluded. They have not been given the retroactive sums, nothing whatsoever. We believe this is discriminatory. It's discriminatory because you may have two workers in the public sector, one on contract, one who may be considered permanent. They're doing the same job in the same department, and one is treated in a particular way, benefits from the compensation review, and the one on contract doesn't. There are thousands of employees within the public sector who are on contract and who have been left out of this process. We have raised it before, and we're calling on the minister and the ministry to address it, to deal with it expeditiously, because there is likely to be industrial relations restiveness if those contract workers do not believe they are being treated fairly. And at this stage, they don't. We have other concerns about the process. The public bodies have not been engaged in this process up to now. And by public bodies, we're talking about statutory organizations like the National Housing Trust, the National Water Commission. They don't know what this process means for them. And there's a great degree of anxiety and apprehension among employees within the public bodies about how the compensation review will affect them.
Mr. Robinson further stated that critical agencies are yet to come on board in this public sector compensation review.
What do I mean by critical agencies? I'm talking about like the fire brigade. I'm talking about the correctional services. I'm talking about air traffic controllers. Those critical agencies are yet to be brought on board in the compensation review. And the two big ones that remain outstanding are the teachers and the policemen. And I would like to know, what is the proposed time frame for us to complete those negotiations? Because those two bodies are critical to the development of the country. Certainly the police officers feel a great sense of demotivation right now. They don't have adequate resources to even do the basic responsibilities that they have. And they don't believe that up to now they're being treated fairly or they're being recognized for the sacrifices. And the sacrifices we talk about are every single day they go out there, they put their lives on the line to protect the citizens of Jamaica. Those important bodies need to be dealt with urgency and with equity so that we can complete this entire process. So while we have made some progress, the outstanding institutions remain an area of concern. So we would like to see, the minister has indicated that he wants to complete this before the end of the fiscal year, which is March 31st, so that retroactive payments can be made. Based on some of the utterances and the feedback that we have seen from some of those union leaders, we seem to be a far way away from successfully completing this exercise.
As thousands of Jamaicans share mixed opinions regarding how the government should prepare itself to face a fourth COVID-19 variant discovered in China, several funeral directors have indicated that they have already prepared themselves for the worst. One such funeral director, Melvin Honeygan, director of Honeygan's Funeral Service and West Palm Memorial Garden located in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland, has indicated that he is much more prepared today than he was yesterday.
I am much more prepared today than yesterday, and I'm still making other arrangements to meet the crisis. I think we need still a control on how funeral homes are operating in Jamaica. So many people go out today and say, I am a funeral director. But a funeral director should be one that has a complete business. Not saying you're a funeral director and you're multi-screwing with other people. No, there's a matter of in the business and getting in the business. So there should be at least two different names. An undertaker, or a funeral director, or a suitcase undertaker. Where are you? Because a lot of people going around today saying they're undertakers, and they're suitcase undertakers. They don't have a proper office. They don't have any storage. So how can you be a funeral director without these facilities? Facilities what count. And we had some earlier meeting with the government speaking about certain things that was necessary. And I am still concerned because public health came to do a visit. And when I asked them, who and who in the parish are you looking at? Only two of us was being inspected in the parish. And the two people who said they are fully established.
Mr. Honeygan also pointed out that most funeral homes were caught off guard in the recent COVID-19 pandemic due to the fact that most of these funeral homes were not fully equipped.
China or anywhere in that region coming to their country has to be COVID free. Are we waiting until COVID reach here to run after it? The first time we had the same problem. COVID was in China, took over America and other countries, until as a funeral home we were being blamed for what we are not guilty of before the government decided to take a decision. I think now, as the Bible says, the acceptable time, they should be publicizing the use of the necessary PPE, the use of approval of people coming here. I thought the first time we were treated as squatters because when you leave this country to go anywhere, you have to get permission to go to your yard. And I wish a woman or my wife should tell me I need permission to come home. If I had authority, all those who place us under that stupid restriction, I would send them home. Your home is your place for sickness or death. That's where you go.
Still tonight, the Kingston Western Police have listed Rashane Grant and O'Shane Grant of 10th Street, Kingston, as wanted in connection with a case of robbery. The men are being urged to immediately report to the Denham Town Police Station. Members of the public are being advised that it is a crime to harbor a fugitive and are being urged to share any information they have regarding the suspects with the police. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Roshane Grant and O'Shane Grant is being urged to call the Denham Town Police at 876-922-6441, Police Emergency 119, Crime Stop at 311 or the nearest police station.